Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is our third update of the day and the 10th since we kicked off the general elections for 2017. We have received more results from the constituencies in the past few hours since our last update, and our team is working very hard to verify the numbers and ensure that we deliver credible final results. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate all our staff from across the country. You have practically put your life on hold so that you can ensure the will of Kenyans prevail in this election. Many of you have endured long hours and sleepless nights to ensure that the process is smooth and that the results are credible. We urge you to continue working tirelessly to submit the remaining results. I would also like to thank the party agents who are here, who have spent hours here at the auditorium in the interest of ensuring that the results are credible. Thank you for keeping us accountable and for your contribution to the democratic process of this country. As at 7 p.m., we have received 40,501 Form 34As and uploaded the same to the public portal. 532 out of the 40,883 polling stations are yet to submit their results. Also at 7 p.m. this afternoon, we have received 170 Form 34Bs out of the expected 290. And that is the status of the results. Today afternoon, the Commission received a letter from NASA demanding the Commission to declare Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka as President and Deputy President respectively. The Commission has responded to this letter, and a copy of the same will be made available to the press. I just want to reiterate on behalf of the Commission that the Court of Appeal in Civil Appeal number 105 of 2017 held that the results of presidential election would be electronically transmitted from the polling stations to the constituency officers, returning officers, who would then tally and verify the said results in compliance with Section 39(1)(ca) of the Elections Act, and electronically transmit the results to the Commission at the National Tallying Center. The Commission is then required by law to collect the results from the 290 constituency returning officers, and thereafter the chairperson of the Commission would, in accordance with Article 138(3)(c) and 138(10) of the Constitution, declare the result of the presidential election. The lawful results in the presidential election are those announced by the constituency returning officers and contained in Form 34B, completed by the constituency returning officers. The final results of the presidential election is that declared by the chairperson of the Commission, being the aggregate of the results announced by the 290 constituency returning officers. The Commission is currently still receiving Form 34B, meaning that the transmission of the results of the presidential election have still not been completed. The accurate and lawful results will thus only be ascertained once all the Form 34Bs are received by the Commission and the results therein collected. The Commission reiterates its commitment to strictly comply with the provisions of the Constitution and the law. In that regard, the Commission will only declare the results of the presidential election as directed by Article 138(3)(c) and 138(10) of the Constitution. Finally, Article 249 of the Constitution stipulates that the Commission is independent and not subject to the control of any person or authority. The Commission and presidential candidates agreed on a framework where one account was to be provided by the Commission to each presidential candidate to facilitate ease of access to Form 34As and 34Bs. The Commission, as in compliance with the negotiated agreement, provided a set account to each of the presidential candidates as reasonable access to Forms 34A and B, and that exercise is ongoing. So that is the statement from the Commission, and we would be taking any questions. Thank you very much. A nice evening.
My name is Irene Mwangi from KUTV. Today in the afternoon, the National Super Alliance, of course, said that the results that they have tallied in the tallying center, Raila Odinga is leading with 8.04, and Uhuru Kenyatta is coming in second with 7.75. And what is tallied here is quite different from them. They're saying that the Form 34A and Form 34B that they're using to tally, they got them from the IEBC server using the link that you gave them. Now, are we having different from 34A and from 34B, different from what we are having here, because they have different results and they're saying they're getting the results from the server, which is the IEBC server. My second question is, are there any anomalies reported as of now during this process of validation? Thank you.
Sorry, thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate your team for working so tirelessly, throughout the night and through the whole afternoon to give us these results, plus your team, of course. Two questions, though. I'm keen to find out which constituencies are these. If you're gracious enough, you can give us the list. Which constituencies are these that have not yet delivered their forms, and are they likely to meet the deadline that you give them of 11 a.m. tomorrow? And then the other question revolves around the letter that you responded to NASA. Kindly share with us some of the response that you gave them, and are you likely to give into their demand that they said this afternoon?
Naitwa Masialomba kutoka Kwetu Radio, na maswala mawili ambayo ningependa kujuzwa tafadhali. Swala la kwanza ni kuhusiana na zile nambari ambazo tumekuwa tukiweka pale kuhusiana na yale maeneo bunge ambayo tayari yamewasilisha hizo fomu. Kuna baadhi ya maeneo ambayo yamerudiwa mara si moja wala mbili. Kama eneo bunge la Khwisero liko pale mara 3. Sijui kama Mkenya wa kawaida nini anapaswa kuelewa kutokana na hilo. Kisha swala la pili, hizi 34B mlipokuwa mkifunza wale maafisa ambao wamesimamia maeneo bunge, walipaswa kuziscan ama walipaswa kuzitumia kwa mfumo upi? Maana kuna zingine tunaona zimeskaniwa, zingine ni picha zimepigwa.
Okay, maybe we pick those ones first.
My name is Jacqueline Abusei.
Excuse me. Let us
okay.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. The first question was with regards to the announcement of alternative results that indicated something different from this.
Thank you. Let me start by saying that we have done a comprehensive response to the letter from NASA. It's a very detailed response, and the media can have access to that letter to be provided to you at very, very short notice. Now, the letter outlines all the issues you may have, the concerns you may have. Now, there's only one election management body in this country, and that is the IEBC, and this is the body mandated to run elections. It's the only body that's mandated to count the ballot papers after the voters have voted. And it's our job, after counting, to announce the results. Now, that is very, very important, so that if a candidate brings results to us, we cannot take those results. So, those details are in the letter. Please take a copy of the letter and read it for yourself. Now, the letter we received from NASA does not contain Form 34As and 34Bs. So we are not able to sustain what the basis of those results are. And perhaps if we had copies of the same, it would have given us more information. So as relates to anomalies, I'm yet to be informed as to any anomalies today. My understanding is that there are no anomalies reported as up to now between the transmitted results and what is being tallied. The other question, I think I'll ask any of the commissioners to pick it up.
There was a question about, it was in Swahili, maybe that's how it was, Quisero. You said the form appears 3 times? Which form is that?
As for the ones that have been streaming over there on the screen, the constituencies that had already submitted their Form 34Bs.
On this screen?
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's repetition, but then a constituency can only submit to us one Form 34B. So if it was appearing 3 times, it could be a repetition. So we don't expect that there are going to be more than one form for that. Yeah, so I think, yes. There was also the question about the constituencies that have not reported. We just said that 170 have reported. So that means we are above half of the 290. So those that have not reported, at least we are reporting those that have so far reported. The rest, you can guess. But we're trying as much as possible to improve on the presentation of those who have reported and perhaps compare with those that have not reported. Yes.
Jina langu ni Mathias Momanyi kutoka kituo cha Taifa KBC Radio Taifa. Nauliza swali kuhusu asilimia ambazo zimesalia katika runinga zetu kwa muda mrefu, tukigundua kwamba hizo asilimia mmethibitisha ama mmesema wazi kwamba si halali ama hazifai kuthibitishwa kuwa za kweli. Kuna haja zibaki na kusalia kuwa katika viwambo vyetu ama katika runinga zetu? Na je, kama zini za haki, ndizo zitatumika kuthibitisha nani mshindi na nani mshinde katika uraisi? Naomba nijibu kwa lugha ya taifa.
My name is Jacqueline Aruse from CAS TV, and I would like to ask how many, so far, how many Form 34B have you received, and how soon are you likely to finish verifying the 290?
How many Form 34B have been issued?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Patrick Langat from the Daily Nation. The last time the CEO spoke about the alleged hacking by NASA of the IBC server, you said it was not substantiated because your team had proved that the logs that had been provided were not consistent with your own server. From the details they gave of the server details the NASA team gave, is it consistent with your system this time? And yeah.
All right, my name is Richard from K24. My question is still in relation to Form 34B. If in receipt of 200 of them, is that the constitutional threshold, and would you be in a position to declare the presidential results? And lastly, the country is anxious, everyone is pensive. Do you have a projected timeline when you can announce the presidential election results?
My name is Nicholas Lay.
Okay, that should be the last one. Nicholas. Okay.
My name is Nicholas Lay from CAS TV. My question is, are you able to give us the specific of these constituencies that have not submitted that 4Bs? And what could be the reason as to why they have not submitted to this far? Because the polling station, when you are preparing, you have said each and every polling station would be made to be 700 voters. Meaning the time that was expected for all polling stations to do the accounting and sending all the forms should have been the same. And are they among those constituencies that you are earlier indicated that they were lacking in the network of 3G or 4G?
The last question, I just want to check. NASA made allegations that one of the staff members gave them the information. Have you perhaps looked at the matter to investigate whether the allegations are true in terms of whether one of your staff members did share information with the opposition?
And this is important. Have you identified the supposed hacker, sir? And what action have you taken?
What is the question?
Have you identified the supposed hacker, and what action have you taken?
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, I think we can share the question. Prof.
I'll start with the last question. There has not been any hacking, and we have not reported any hacking. And the story around hacking is something that is not there at all. As an institution, we have various servers, we have various levels of securities to safeguard against internal and external intrusions. We've invested heavily in the last 5 months on security systems and deployed various personnel to monitor on a 24-hour basis the integrity of our system. And therefore, there has not been hacking, and we have no reason to look for anyone.
Thank you, Prof, for that. And to also just distinguish another important factor on that, based on the reports that we saw yesterday and about the information that we've received concerning alleged intrusion, our team has looked at it, and you could look at it independently. What is evident, and we said that yesterday, that the database that our system runs on is totally different from the database that is alleged. We said that yesterday. Allegedly hacked, that is. You call it MySQL or something like that, Microsoft supported. Ours is totally different, so there are no relationships at all. So what we need to do is, I think, to remain focused on doing what is right, sharing information in a more transparent manner, and believing that the Commission is able to do what is right, what is constitutionally mandated to do, in a way that inspires public confidence in the process. And that's what we do. That's why we exist. The other question Chair, was about whether we can declare results once we get a number like 200 from 34Bs. Are they sufficient enough to declare results? Ladies and gentlemen, we don't declare results on the basis of forms. We declare results on the basis of the number of votes cast and distributed across the different candidates. So we must count to the last. There are only very exceptional circumstances that you may declare the results before you receive everything. And that is if the total number of votes that are outstanding will not make a difference to the final results that you may be having. That's the only situation, that's the only circumstance. But as we sit now, we must get all our forms together to verify that the threshold for the winner has been obtained and that the results are correct. So Gagoy, Richard, don't worry. We'll continue doing that work till we finish. So, there was a question about how many Forms 34s. We said 170 Form 34Bs have been received, and they're being processed through all these desks that you see here. They're being processed, and we intend to make them available on the public portal as soon as we complete them at this desk. So, and our target is that by tomorrow we start loading Form 34Bs to make them available. They're huge actually than the Form 34S. And the reason as to why some of these constituencies are not reporting yet, constituencies are different. Some could be having more polling stations than others. Some having more registered number of voters than others. Some just because of logistical reasons. You have to travel a long distance to get to where you're supposed to transmit the results or where you are able to get network. So there are various explanations. And there's some, if you look at that screen, or this one actually, you will see that out of the 40,883 kits, only 40,432 have reported the results. So it tells you that out of that number we are still waiting for about 451, right? 451 polling stations to report. So it could be logistical reasons trying to get officers to the tallying centers. And before the end of the night, we have requested our team to pull out that data so that we make it available. By about 9 o'clock, well, not 9 o'clock, but 5 o'clock this evening, I received a report of 1,400 that we had earlier requested. And what we saw is that those that had not reported had about an average of the total number of voters in those particular polling stations, about 450,000. So, of course, it has reduced significantly, given that the number of polling stations that have not reported have also reduced significantly. But we want to ensure that by, as Chairman said in the morning, by noon tomorrow, all the results from the polling stations and all the forms 34B should have been submitted to us. So I think we want to appreciate your patience. Why can't we do that tomorrow? Who are you? Okay, thank you very much. Babu, relax, Chief. Okay. There's a desk here. that has all the party agents, so we can get it from there. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.